Gil Martin here, and welcome everybody to the Daily Packers Post, where we bring you in-depth daily coverage of your Green Bay Packers. We are here every Monday through Friday, bringing you the latest Packers news and analysis. Today, we continue our position-by-position review of the 2024 Green Bay Packers with the offensive line. And this unit, if you look at it really, from a results standpoint, Jordan Love was not sacked a lot. In fact, both Love and Malik Willis were only sacked 22 times in 17 regular season games this year. And the kind of season Josh Jacobs and the running backs had, and none of that happens without strong offensive line play. Now, that doesn't mean there aren't things this offensive line needs to improve upon. We know that even though Jordan Love was not sacked very often, there was a lot of pressure on him at times. And, Love is particularly adept at avoiding sacks. So the Packers offensive line has to cut down on that. And again, Josh Jacobs is very good at picking up yards in situations where maybe he shouldn't or isn't expected to. So you take those numbers with a little bit of a grain of salt. But we start with the starters. Rasheed Walker was the starting left tackle. This is his second year, and it was primarily his job to protect the blind side of Jordan Love. And he was very good in pass protection, but rated average in run blocking, according to Pro Football Focus. But think about it. Rasheed Walker was a 7th-round pick and has developed into a quality starting NFL tackle. So gotta like that. There are still some things he could work on, including, some of those double moves that gave him trouble more in 2023 than in 2024. But I really like the way Walker is developing. Elgton Jenkins, another solid season for him. He's a versatile guy. He could play center. He could play tackle in a pinch. But the one game that he had to move over to center because of an injury to Myers, the Packers certainly didn't, he didn't do a great job snapping the ball as a center, but as a left guard, he is an excellent pass blocker and a good run blocker. And really, it was the three interior Packers offensive linemen who most contributed to Josh Jacobs' running success, the way they walled things off, double teamed some defenders inside, because Josh Jacobs is a runner primarily. His strength is running between the tackles. Josh Myers, the coaching staff loves him. His teammates love him, but he only grades out his average. And, average as a pass blocker, below average as a run blocker. He's consistent. He gives you effort. He's smart, but he's, kind of average at best. And, he'll never live up to the second-round billing, and the fact that Creed Humphreys was drafted right after him is always going to be held over his head. Now, Myers is an unrestricted free agent this offseason, so we have to see whether or not Brian Gutekunst decides to bring him back or whether he ends up elsewhere. Rhyan ended up the right guard, and he was a solid starter. Before the season started last year, he was basically behind Jon Runyan Jr. and alternated series for most of the second half of the year because Runyan was dealing with some injuries. And last year, Rhyan, his run blocking was solid. His pass blocking was questionable. Well, this year, the pass blocking was much better. The run blocking still, pretty good. But the thing I like about Rhyan more than anything, his toughness, his grit, his attitude. So hopefully he can continue to develop in his 4th NFL season, but his second year as a starter. And then there's the right tackle, the team's best offensive lineman over the course of the season. I'm talking, of course, about Zach Tom. He had the highest run blocking grade of any Packers offensive lineman, and he was very good in pass protection as well. Had a couple of bad games. Unfortunately, he struggled against the Eagles in the playoff game, but he really was the most consistent and best lineman, both for the pass and the run, and really deserves some Pro Bowl consideration if he continues to play this well. Now, the backups, well, they weren't needed as much because this unit, for the most part, did stay fairly healthy. I mean, Brian Gutekunst brought in Andre Dillard to be sort of a backup, experienced offensive tackle. He struggled in the preseason, ended up playing only 13 snaps on offense and 50 on special teams all year. I don't necessarily think Dillard will be back, but again, he was an insurance policy that the Packers ultimately did not need to cash in. First round pick Jordan Morgan, his first season in the NFL was really lost to injury. The injury started in training camp. He managed to get into 6 games, started 1, but really he was mostly alternating series with Sean Rhyan and just couldn't stay in the lineup. Now, he was a left tackle in college, ended up moving both from the left side to the right side and from left tackle to right guard. So this was a learning season for him. Guard is most likely where he's going to end up in the NFL. And we'll see if Myers leaves. Do you insert Morgan in at guard and then move either Sean Rhyan or, you have some other options at center as well? We'll see what ends up happening with that. But hopefully Morgan stays healthy in year 2 and starts to become a regular contributor and maybe even a starter. Some of the depth players, you had Kadeem Telfort. He spent 2023 on the practice squad, managed to get in 16 of the team's 17 games this year on the active roster, but only played 23 offensive snaps. Graded out better as a run blocker than in pass protection, but he was a project, and he moved up a notch from practice squad to special teams player this year. Travis Glover, rookie, 7 games here, the 6th-round pick out of Georgia State. Kind of struggled when he was in the lineup, only 13 offensive snaps, and he still needs some work to grow into playing in the NFL. Same with Jacob Monk. He did not take a snap in the 10 regular season games that he played on offense, only played on special teams. The Packers like his versatility, and he'll be back to compete for a roster spot next year. If I have to give a grade overall to this unit, it would be a solid, strong B. I think they were good, but not outstanding. They got the job done. They were healthy, which I think went a long way to doing that. And the good news is that 4 of your 5 starters and last year's number 1 draft pick are all coming back in 2025. And hopefully some of these younger guys can continue their development and improve. It would not surprise me to see Brian Gutekunst add on day 3 of the draft 1 or 2 more offensive linemen, and maybe we see another experienced swing tackle. Goody seems to like to add those. And if Andre Dillard is not back, maybe there is another guy who sort of fits that mold who the Packers can sign as an inexpensive free agent. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button, hit the bell so you know when new episodes drop. Thank you very much for watching the Daily Packers Post. You can check out our website for in-depth daily articles on the Packers at thepackerspost.com. Take care, everybody. Have a great day. And of course, go Pack Go.